So, hi, welcome to another episode of Insights with NetSupport, here live from BET 2023. Now, it's a small world, isn't it? But I'm really, really happy to welcome onto this episode of the show someone who I've known IRL and virtually on social media for, crikey, a long time, right?
A
little while. This is Becki Bawler. Now, Becki works at Risca Community Comprehensive, yeah, Risca CC. And again, it is one of those things where you know people by their Twitter handles and their schools by their Twitter handles rather than their actual names. But rather than me explain who you are, what you do exactly, because you wear a variety of hats now as well, don't you? Can you just sort of share with our audience who you are and what you do, please?
Yeah.
Becki?
So I've been teaching at Risca for 5 years now, as their head of digital, or lead teacher of digital is the title there. So developing the Digital Competence Framework, which we have in Wales across the school, supporting all the staff with their training, supporting the technical side of it. Mm-hmm. And then since September, I've been seconded to, first of all, for a day a week, and now 4 days a week for Welsh Government to start working with them on their digital education plan, which is part of our new national mission. So we're looking at digital across Wales now as well. So I've gone from, quite small things, really doing stuff nicely in Risca, to having the opportunity to moving into something in a much bigger way as well.
Oh, yeah. Brilliant. Well, that's fantastic. Congratulations on that additional. The experience must be fantastic. One of the things that has always been a bit of an embarrassment as an English person, actually. And I was really fortunate to get involved with Welsh Government around the Digital Competence Framework and spoken and not only worked with many schools in Wales, but spoken at events in Wales as well. But as an English teacher, not a teacher of English, a teacher who is English, I've been taught mostly in English schools throughout his career. The work that Welsh Government have done in developing and pushing forward digital skills, not only with young people, but actually with teachers, and the way they've done that and the development of Hub, compared to what we have here in England, it's a bit of an embarrassment, to be completely honest. As someone who's lived and breathed that and is now actually, at the chalk face within Welsh Government, how have you found the support that the DCF and everything else that's happened within the government has helped with over the last sort of 10 years or so?
Yeah, I think it's been really, really good, actually. So the Digital Competence Framework started in 2016-17. And then obviously now in Wales, we've got a new curriculum, which is very, very different. It's no longer going to be that ring binder of stuff you must do, all constructed through schools directly. And as part of that, digital competence is one of the 3 cross-curricular skills. It has equity with literacy and numeracy. So digital is at the forefront of what Wales wants to do. The Minister is really keen that digital is there. We've just published the national mission, and digital is right in the middle of that as well. And it's been really, really good. Hub is 10 years old. It's an amazing national platform. Every student, every teacher in Wales in a maintained school has access to Office 365, Google for Education, Adobe Creative Cloud, and a range of other platforms and software, all controlled, all single sign-in. We have, all of our national tests are done through that as well. And, during the COVID pandemic, it was absolutely essential, because it suddenly meant that we didn't have to worry about anything because it was all there. And we just had to make sure staff were okay with using it. And the support was there as well. And I think having that Hub platform for the last 10 years, which is constantly developing and changing, is something that we probably take for granted. And it's not until you realise that England doesn't have it that you suddenly think, oh, actually, this is really good. And digital is a big priority. We have national digital standards for the whole of the country outside of education as well.
So it's fantastic that you've got that sort of overarching support. It brings lots of benefits and gains to every school and provides a level playing field, digital equity for each school. As you can probably tell, viewers, I'm a massive fan, but we still do get, I often share, Becki, that any digital strategy in a school is only ever really as successful as its sort of lowest common denominator. So you will still have the teachers who are scared of technology, who still find it difficult, they're fearful of it. So bringing things to that sort of micro level, Have you got any insights or strategies you can share about how to support teachers like that?
I think one of the things that we've done at Risca quite successfully is we've brought on board enthusiastic teachers, not necessarily the most digitally competent to start with, but teachers across all faculties who've wanted to develop digital. We did it right from when I started. We had something called the Hwylio Wyth, which was 8 key apps that we wanted to develop. One member of staff linked to each app. They learned about it, they trained about it, they then shared it to others. But one of the big things that we constantly say at Risca is it's a digital tool. It's not the be all and end all. It is what do you want to learn or what do you want to teach first? How do you want to do it? And then could digital make it better? And quite often the answer is no, it can't. You know, and if no, it can't is the answer, then leave your digital behind. If actually I think this could, then you need to look at, well, what are you using? How easy is it? And we've developed a very simple sort of almost like the Haynes manual. So it's a, you know, I think one of our teachers described it as the 1 spanner, 2 spanner, 3 spanner version. You know, if you want to do a presentation interactively, how are you going to do it? Are you going to use Google Slides? Are you going to use something from Adobe? Are you going to use a PowerPoint? Are you going to go and find something else online? Are you going to develop something that you found yourself? So by constantly going back to it being a tool rather than being essential, you take that away as well, you take the pressure away. So staff will then, you know, I know who to go to if I want to look at a certain platform because I'm not the expert in all of them. You know, I know where I want to go if we want to develop something on Minecraft. I know which teachers to speak to. If I want to look at Wakelet, I know which teachers to speak to because they've taken ownership of it. And for me, in any school, it's about grabbing onto those key individuals who want to learn, who are happy to do it, and then helping them to push it out across their area first of all, and then moving forward with that.
That sounds very much like the TPAT model to me. Right, in that, you know, teachers got their pedagogical knowledge, their content knowledge, but often don't have that technological knowledge. And that's a key tenet about knowing when it's right to or not to choose to use it. And if it isn't right, then again, that being absolutely fine, which you've alluded to there. Are those sort of frameworks things that have informed your thinking around these approaches?
So when I started there, we were looking at the SAMR model first of all, and then very quickly through a couple of conversations with some extremely well-known people in the school for digital, we sort of thought, actually, you know, we need to use this, but we also need to look at TPAC, and we need to start really thinking about the pedagogy behind it. And, you know, what are we trying to teach? And we've done presentations about TPAC to staff so that they really know that it's not just, I've got an iPad in my classroom, so I'm going to use it. It's, what am I teaching? And how is this going to make it better? And if it can't, it can't. But if it can, who do I go to to really learn that? And it's about planning that really strategically. And then at the same time, we've got a really effective digital development plan for the technology as well. So again, we're supported through Welsh Government with the EdTech Wave funding, which we get every year. And that comes through the local authorities. We can buy the stuff, some of the stuff that we need. It's never everything. The school still has to, you know, put money towards it. But actually, we've got this development plan. We go round to the classrooms and say, right, okay, this is okay for you, this isn't okay for you. Every faculty now has a set of Chromebooks at minimum. Some have 2, some have 1 set of Chromebooks, 1 of laptops. But it's designed around what they want to use it for, not just, let's just throw them in the classroom and hope for the best.
Brilliant. But thank you. There's so many amazing insights that I'm sure you can take away from a conversation here with Becki. If you want to find you online, Becki, how can they get in touch?
So my Twitter is @Becki Bawler, which is nice and easy to find.
Brilliant. BECKI rather than with the Y, Becki Bawler. Please do connect with her. She's always willing to share and engage in conversations. And if you want to find out more, then check the show notes, and we'll drop a few sort of things in there related to what Becki's been sharing here as well. But for now, thank you very much, Becki, for joining me, and thank you for watching this episode of Insights with NetSupport live from BET 2023. Thank you.